Good day, everyone. I prepared this video lecture again to help you stay on track with our lessons, especially to those players who are busy preparing for the upcoming intramurals. You may watch this at your most convenient time. We are now on lesson 2, biodiversity and healthy society. Please give your full attention to this topic and remember to take down notes, okay? Now let's talk about what is biodiversity. So when we say biodiversity class, it refers to the rich variety of life that exists on Earth, including genes, species, and ecosystems. Genetic diversity class is the variation found with the DNA of living organisms, allowing them to adapt to changes in their surroundings and maintaining healthy populations. Species diversity class represents the countless kinds of plants, animals, fungi, and microorganisms that inhabit our planet, each playing an important role in maintaining the balance of nature. Ecosystem diversity, on the other hand, includes the many environments where organisms live and interact, such as forests, grasslands, coral reefs, and wetlands. Biodiversity class is vital because it keeps natural systems balanced. Forests purify the air and produce oxygen. Wetlands filter water and help prevent flooding. And pollinators like bees and butterflies make it possible for many plants to reproduce, ensuring food production for humans and wildlife. It also supports human well-being by providing food, clean water, medicine, and raw materials while regulating the climate and protecting us from natural disasters. Moreover, biodiversity enriches our lives by opening opportunities for recreation, cultural practices, and inspiration. When we safeguard biodiversity class, we maintain healthy ecosystems that support a sustainable and a better quality of life for everyone. So, why biodiversity class matters to people? Biodiversity class is essential to people because it provides many of the things we need to survive and thrive. It gives us food, clean water, and fresh air while also supplying medicines and raw materials that support health and industry. Healthy ecosystems class regulate the climate, reduce the risk of floods, and help control diseases, creating safer conditions for communities. Biodiversity class also enriches our lives through recreation, tourism, and cultural traditions that depend on a healthy environment. When biodiversity class is lost, human health suffers, economies weaken, and cultures tied to the natural world begin to decline. Hence, as the caretakers of this planet, we need to protect and love for us to be able to have a safe environment. It is evidently class that the world's population has increased at unprecedented rate over the past several decades, rising from around 2.5 billion people in 1950 to more than 8 billion in 2023. This rapid growth class means that more people need food, water, shelter, and energy, which places enormous pressure on Earth's resources. To meet these demands class, forests are often cleared for farmland, rivers are diverted for irrigation, and large amounts of fossil fuels are consumed to produce electricity and transport goods. As communities expand, natural habitats such as wetlands, coral reefs, and grasslands are destroyed or fragmented to make way for cities, roads, and agricultural land. This loss of habitat class threatens many plants and animals species. Of course, reduces biodiversity and weakens the ability of ecosystems to provide essential services like clean water, fertile soil, and a stable climate. Population growth class also increases waste production and greenhouse gas emissions, which contribute to pollution and global warming. When the needs of a growing population are not balanced with the protection of the environment, both people and nature suffer. Overexploitation class of resources can also lead to soil degradation, water shortages, declining fish stocks, and more frequent natural disasters. Sustainable development, no, meeting present needs without harming the ability of future generations is crucial to ensure that the human society and the natural world can thrive together despite ongoing population growth. Now let us know what are the impact of population growth on biodiversity. Population growth class, just like what I've said earlier, places heavy pressure on the environment and leads to serious threats to biodiversity. As more people require food, timber, and space, natural areas are converted into farms, pasture lands, logging sites, settlements, and roads. This large-scale class, no, again, this large-scale conversion destroys or fragments habitats, leaving many species without the space and resources they need to survive. At the same time, the demand for fish, wildlife, and forest products increases. Overfishing, excessive hunting, poaching, and deforestation remove plants and animals faster than they can recover, upsetting the balance of ecosystems. A growing population also class produces more pollution. Household and industrial wastes contaminate rivers, lakes, and oceans, no? While agricultural chemicals such as pesticides and fertilizers poison insects, birds, and soil organisms. Plastics also persist for many decades in land and water, injuring or killing animals that swallow or become trapped in them. In addition, the need for more energy, transportation, and industrial production raises greenhouse gas emissions, which warm the planet and disturb rainfall, sea levels, and seasonal patterns. These changes class, no, place extra stress on species, no, that already struggling with shrinking habitats and polluted surroundings. The combined effects of habitat destruction, overexploitation, pollution, and climate stress reduce the variety of life on Earth. When biodiversity declines, no, ecosystem lost their ability to provide people with food, clean water, fresh air, raw materials, and protection against floods, droughts, and disease outbreaks. So, let us remind ourselves, class, that caring for nature is not just about saving our that it is not just about saving plants and animals. It is about protecting the resources and services that keep people alive. If population growth continues without proper planning and sustainable practices, it can weaken the Earth's ability to support human life. Now, let us know what are the signs of environmental contamination. Environmental contamination class can be detected through several visible and measurable signs in air, water, and living organisms. Air pollution class is evident when smog hangs over cities, making the sky hazy and unhealthy to breathe. The presence of greenhouse gases such as carbon dioxide and methane contributes to climate change, while pollutants like sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxides mix with moisture in the atmosphere to form acid rain, which damages forests, buildings, and aquatic habitats. And water pollution class occurs when untreated sewage, toxic industrial waste, and agricultural runoff carrying fertilizers and pesticides enter, no, to rivers, lakes, and oceans. These substances class reduce water quality, kill aquatic life, and make water unsafe for human use. In soil contamination, harmful chemicals, no, such as pesticides, herbicides, and heavy metals accumulate in farmland or vacant lots, no, reducing soil fertility and threatening the health of plants, animals, and people who consume contaminated crops. Living organisms class often acts as bioindicators. Again, living organism often acts as bioindicators of pollution. For example, frogs are sensitive to toxins and changes in water quality. So their decline can signal contamination in wetlands or ponds. Lichens, no, which grow on tree bark or rocks, absorb, no, pollutants from the air, and their disappearance often reflects rising air pollution. Bees, which is essential for pollination, may decline due to pesticide exposure or habitat loss, warning us of environmental stress. Widespread class of ecosystem damage can indicate serious contamination. Eutrophication, no, which caused by nutrient-rich runoff, leads to dense algal blooms in lakes and rivers, depriving fish and other organisms of oxygen. In the oceans, coral bleachings happens when water becomes too warm, no, or polluted, causing corals to lose their color and die, which disrupts entire marine ecosystems. So together class, no, these signs show how pollution harms the air, water, soil, and living system that people and other species depend on for survival. How biodiversity protects society? Biodiversity class, no, plays a vital role in keeping human communities safe, healthy, and well supplied with resources. Wetlands, such as marshes and mangroves, acts as a natural filters by trapping sediments, absorbing pollutants, and cleaning water before it flows into rivers, lakes, or oceans. These ecosystems class also buffer communities against floods and storm surges. Forests and plants help stabilize the climate by absorbing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, storing it in their trunks and roots, and releasing oxygen. They also regulate local temperatures, prevent soil erosion, and maintain rainfall patterns, all of which class are essential for farming and clean air. Then, no, wild animals class, especially predators, play an important part in controlling populations of pests and disease carriers. For example, birds, bats, and spiders help keep insects in check, while frogs and fish feed on mosquito larvae, reducing the spread of diseases like malaria and dengue. At the same time, pollinators such as bees, butterflies, birds, and some bats ensure that crops and wild plants reproduce, no, by transferring pollen from flower to flower. This process class is essential for producing fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds, which make up a large portion of the human diet. In short, biodiversity supports society by providing clean water, stable weather, pest and disease control, and reliable food production. Protecting a wide variety of plants and animals is not only good for nature, it is necessary for human health, safety, and well-being. If we did not take care and protect our biodiversity, it has a serious effects on human health, food security, the economy, and even emotional well-being. One major risk is the rise of new zoonotic diseases, that is the infections that spread from animals to humans. When natural habitats are destroyed, wild animals are forced into closer contact with people and livestock, increasing the chance of viruses or bacteria jumping between species, which can lead to outbreaks or even global pandemics. Biodiversity loss also threatens food and water supplies. When forests, grasslands, and wetlands are degraded, the land loses its fertility and water sources become polluted or dry up. This makes it harder to grow crops, raise animals, and maintain clean drinking water, which can lead to hunger, malnutrition, and conflict over scarce resources. Economically, damaged ecosystems reduce opportunities for farming, fishing, and tourism. No. Of course, no, fewer fish in rivers and oceans hurt coastal communities that depend on fishing. Farmland damaged by soil erosion, also loss of pollinators, lowers harvest, while the destruction of scenic forest, coral reefs, and wildlife reserves discourages visitors, cutting off income from tourism. Then, the loss of nature impacts mental health and well-being. Beautiful, no, green spaces and healthy wildlife give people a scene of peace, relaxation, and connection to life. When surroundings become polluted, barren, or silent because animals have disappeared, people can feel stress, sadness, or hopelessness. So therefore, class, no, we should do what? Take care and love our environment for us to be able to have a quality life. If there is a problem, of course, there is a solutions. But building a healthy society depends on protecting the natural systems that sustain life. One important solution, no, is to conserve forest, wetlands, and coral reefs as these ecosystems provide clean air and water. What else? Store carbon and shelter countless plants and animals. Preserving these areas prevents further loss of biodiversity and strengthens nature's ability to recover from damage. Another step is to practice sustainable farming and fishing. This means, no, growing crops and raising animals in ways that protect the soil, use water efficiently, and avoid harmful chemicals, while catching fish only at levels that allows populations to replenish. These practices, class, help ensure long-term food security without exhausting natural resources. It is also essential, class, to reduce pollution and manage waste responsibly. Recycling, treating wastewater, minimizing plastic use, and disposing of garbage properly keep toxins out of rivers, oceans, and soils, which protects both human health and wildlife. Supporting family planning and education is another key measure. When people have access to education and reproductive health services, they can make informed choices about family size, helping balance population growth with the Earth's capacity to provide resources. Of course, everyone, no, can take part in the community activities such as tree planting, cleanups, and citizen science projects. These efforts, class, not only restore the environment but also strengthen cooperation, raise awareness, and inspire others to care for nature. By combining conservation, sustainable resource use, pollution control, education, and community involvement, societies can create healthier environments that benefit both people and the planet. And please, class, no, inculcate in your mind that biodiversity is the foundation that keeps people healthy, nourished, and protected. It supplies food, clean water, fresh air, and natural defenses against floods, diseases, and climate extremes. Yet this balance, no, is increasingly threatened by rapid population growth, pollution, and the overuse of resources, which can damage habitats and endanger countless species. Protecting nature is, no, therefore, not only about saving plants and animals. It is about safeguarding our own survival and the well-being of future generations. By caring for forests, no, wetlands, oceans, and all forms of life, we secure a safer, more sustainable world for everyone. And no, these are references. Okay, that concludes our discussion on biodiversity and a healthy society. I hope you were able to gain meaningful insights from today's topic. Use the knowledge you have learned, no, to inform and inspire others about the importance of protecting our environment. Thank you for your attention and I wish everyone, no, a pleasant and productive day ahead.